Good morning, everybody. It's the 19th of April, 2022. We are back with our morning show. It's myself and Shakes Manqoba Ngwenya and also Tshepang last born. Shakes, let me greet you and greet the viewers. And then before we get started.
Good day to all our viewers. Thanks for having me on the show, Saubrey.
Tshepang, will you kindly greet the viewers? And then let's get started.
Yes, good morning to the viewers out there, and to you also, Mr. Shakes, and to you also, Mr. Shabalala. Thanks for having me this morning.
Shakes, good news. You busy with your license, coaching license. Just give us the brief, which is a very huge development towards that direction. Do you want to tell us what happened in brief?
Yeah, Saubrey. I thought it was important for me, as an ex-professional player, because I'm busy also trying to give my knowledge back to the young ones. So I thought it was important for me to grow my knowledge in the game, with the coaching licenses. So I've started with my D license. I completed it. I'm happy to say that I'm a proud holder of a D license. And now I need to do the C as well to gain more knowledge, to be able to give back to the young ones my football knowledge. So yeah, I think it's up to us also as ex-professionals to grow our knowledge so that we can help. We can't always depend on SAFA and other teams. I think it's up to us as former professionals to start our own thing as well and help South Africa, when it comes to developing youngsters. We need to also come to the party.
Shakes, one of the R words, it's a responsibility. So this is what you are saying. We decided to take responsibility and get things going. I'm sure a lot of people will realize that that's very important. If you want things to happen, take the bull by its horns. Now, what is the difference between the D license and the C license? D license, what are you doing in terms of the D license?
Yeah, Prasad. So in terms of the D license, that's the entry level in coaching, which is very important, especially when you're working with the young kids. The different way that you coach young ones compared to when you coach your under 19s or your senior players. So it's important to acquire that skill, and to go through the D license so that you are able to mentor the young ones. You know how to speak to them. The drills are not the same as the ones you have for your older kids. So it's the entry level, which is very important for you to have in order to coach the young ones and make sure you develop them at an early age to be able to become professional.
Then the C license?
And then the C license is a more advanced one, which you do after you do the D. That one, you can even, there are some coaches in the PSL with the C license coaching. So it's a more advanced one for older kids, or rather more senior professionals.
Now, GC license, that has been done. Let's go now. The tournament was supposed to have taken place, the Shakes Manqoba Cup in Mpumalanga. Did it take place this past weekend, or what are the plans?
Yeah, Prasad, there were a lot of changes, because there's a lot of things that we are doing, you know, we had the Charles Mutloy initiative in Velcom this Easter, which was a success. So we decided to move the Manqoba Shakes tournament to December. So we are on the planning stages now because we want to grow the tournament and we want to make it better than the first one. So yeah, we're working on that now, making sure that come December we have a successful tournament which will breed also youngsters and give youngsters an opportunity to go train with the likes of Sundowns or play against the MDC team, expose them to the professional level of doing things, you know, because that's what these kids need. They need that exposure and to believe that they can also get there. That's why we are targeting a place like in Mpumalanga, a place like Kwaga, where you don't see a lot of teams going there or a lot of players coming from there because they don't get that exposure. But then now we want to work with the community of Mpumalanga, Kwaga, and as some talent from there.
Tshepang, we want to say big up to Kaizer Jr. With the Mandela Foundation, who intervened at KZN after the floods, which is a very commendable thing. I see that Kaizer Jr. wants to focus on foundation activities while he's still with Kaizer Chiefs, but it looks like his heart is on a foundation. I say big up to the young man. He must keep up the good work. And then, maybe we need to try and see whether we can talk to him and tell us if he's available. We'll try to hook up with Vina and see whether there are any possibilities of making an arrangement that we talk to Kaizer Jr. We commend such activities. Tshepang, do you want to say something?
Yes, yeah, the foundations are doing well. I'm glad that they are taking the initiative, you know, and helping out and also in rebuilding, you know, our country and especially in KZN, also what happened and what's happening within that province. And as well as, yeah, congratulations to Mr. Shakes as well, you know, obtaining his D license. And it's a start of many more, which we all know that eventually would love to see him having an UEFA license as well, you know. So yeah, congratulations to him.
You said you also want to do the license at some point, isn't it?
Yes, true.
So you need to hook up with Shakes.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. So those are the news. But this morning we want to discuss Kaizer Chiefs. You know what? It becomes inevitable. You don't want to discuss one team all the time. But having seen the statement allegedly said by Stuart Baxter in a press conference to say he's the only coach who has brought the glory to Kaizer Chiefs in the last 20 years. Now, looking at Stuart Baxter as a coach, what's your take? What's your take? Look, the idea is not to bash the coach, but we want to find out, are the fans fair with their call that Stuart Baxter should give a break? You know, I was talking to Brakit. Brakit was saying, you know what is so surprising? Fans are quick to point fingers at the coach. What if the players, they don't follow the instruction? One. Secondly, then he said, your best player get a yellow card to be ruled out, just like Hoto. Hoto won't be playing in the coming game. Sorry. What about a player who gets a red card? Those are his arguments to say, why do you want to blame the coach? when are we blaming the players? Because sometimes when the team has won, it's the players. When the team has lost, it's the coach. There is any merit there, Shakes? You are a coach now. You played football. Tell us. Let me hear from you.
Yeah, Prasoz, all I can tell you is that from even my learning experience last week with the coaching license, you know, it shows you that a coach's job is a very difficult job, you know. It's not an easy job, and that's the nature of the game. When the team doesn't do well, the coach takes the blame. It's always the case, you know. That will never change. So if you can't get the best out of your players, you will be judged as a coach, you know. So yeah, Stuart Baxter is having it tough at the moment, and he's the one at the helm, and that's always going to be the nature of the game. When Chiefs is not winning, he's gonna be the one to be blamed, you know. So he must know that by now, and yeah, that's how the nature of the game is.
How about this element of a coach bringing somebody close, like Stuart has brought his son to the team? Do you think that also play a part, Tshepang?
Yeah, I think maybe coming to that part, I don't think it's we should judge him based on that, but it's mainly of what do they bring to the club, you know, and what can they do for the club. So judging his so when I'm judging his role at the club, I don't think bringing his child maybe there. The child is doing a very good job, I could say. You know, he's doing well, but maybe the coach, on another hand, he's the one that's to be blamed regarding what's happening. You know, but not the other party. So it's mainly depends on what job and what role are you doing, and are you doing a good job or not.
Shakes, you work with the Catrolis. I remember the Catrolis at some point, there was somehow some relationship with one of the coaches. Just tell me a bit more. Catrolis was being alleged to be interfering and so on. Does that have any impact?
Yeah, what I can remember, Prasov, is that Peter was the team manager. Um, um, you had the whole family there, you know, but I think with Sundowns, it wasn't much of an interference. I think it worked well um, with Peter and Maria. Most of the other family were in the office to say not on the field, you know, but we didn't have many issues with that because we were winning, and most of the time we were winning, so it doesn't become an issue. It starts becoming an issue when there's problems, and then you hear certain supporters talking about Baxter's son, you know. But yeah, I don't think that's an issue as well. I agree with Tshepang, you know. I just think Chiefs need a Atazwane in there. I'm not gonna go sideways about that. I believe Ata deserves to be the coach there.
Now, while you're still there, because I wanted us to look very close, I'm very observant. Have you seen when Stuart Baxter celebrating? Arthur becomes the last.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even ignored. I don't know. And we are the big R. One of the most important R is the relationship. Does he communicate? Does he take views from Arthur? I see him maybe whispering to the son at some point. At some point, Dylan Shepherd will be brought closer. Well, maybe I'm looking too much. Tshepang, have you seen that?
Yeah, I remember we've spoken about it before. You know, based on that and how we actually act around Dylan Shepard and Athazwane, you know. But I guess as Arthur is a professional, you could see and you could tell when such moments happen, he just wants to celebrate with the team, you know, based on a good job that they've done, you know. But yeah, we have observed this moment, and yeah, maybe we're looking too much into it, but you can never know.
Well, I can vouch for Arthur, a very good man, very well mannered, very respectful. Arthur won't cause any harm, as far as I know. Arthur, a very good man, and I'm with Shakes here. I think Arthur should be given the reins if things happen. Well, Chiefs knows, and I like the tradition of Mr. Mtaun by making sure that he gives the coach enough chance so that the coach doesn't turn around and say, I was not given enough chance. The players that we are having at Kaizer, were they bought by Stuart Baxter, or Stuart Baxter has never brought his players? Anyone can take that one.
Tshepang, you can go ahead.
Please repeat your question again.
I'm saying the players, the current players that we have at Kaizer Chiefs, were they brought by Stuart Baxter, or you found them there? Because that's another excuse with coaches that, I found the players there. And we know that at some point, Dr. Ivan Koza said, no, you are a coach, we'll buy players for you. I don't know whether that is working or not. So my question is, are all these players, has he contributed with the players that were brought at Kaizer Chiefs with his contribution, or he just found players? Remember, there was also a ban.
Yes, no, the players that are there by Kaizer Chiefs are the players which they've been there last season, and it's the players that Coach Kevin Hunt actually had signed, you know, for the club coming into the new season. But it was just unfortunate that Coach Kevin didn't last at the club, and Stuart Baxter managed to stay with those players, you know. But now he's been now judging from his system that he's been using this season. He's actually using his old system, using the old players which he used to have, that won the league title a couple of years ago. You know, he's still using those players even now, but he hasn't used the new players which are part of the team actually right now. So I don't know. Maybe he feels like these new players that are in the squad right now, um, maybe they don't quite work out for the type of football or system that he's trying to implement in the team. So I think that's the problem, you know, regarding that situation. Maybe it's the type of system he wants to play, but it feels like they're just not doing the job for him. Hence why maybe he keeps on using the old players which he used to have, you know, back then a couple of years ago. So this is my opinion about it. This is how I see it.
Shakes, what's your take?
Yeah, I think Tshepang is right there. You know, Baxter still believe in that old system that won him the trophy a couple of years ago, and he's going about his business with those players that he believes they can do it again. You know, and there's been an uproar from the supporters about the way he's playing. You know, the defensive way he's playing, which is what he believes in, because that's how he won the league with the likes of Mashamaite, when he was focusing on defending first, you know, and then scoring. But yeah, well, Chiefs have not done badly. They up there, and you know, it's just that Sundowns is doing very well, of course, but they're not doing very badly as a team, you know. But yeah, I mean, supporters will never be happy with playing second fiddle or third fiddle, you know. And this weekend was just worse. You expected Chiefs to win that game or to at least score a goal, but yeah, Super Sport beat them. I mean, a Super Sport that's also going through a lot now, who are using Andre Arendse as the interim coach. So yeah, there's a lot of work that Chiefs need to do.
There were a lot of issues. People were saying, no. Look, the Super Sport, they've just lost a coach. They were playing inexperienced players, Chiefs playing experienced players. How can that happen? That was one of the issues that people raised that, they are not happy about. Now, let's go here. Are the fans fair to say Stuart Baxter should leave? Or is this an alarm, like you said, Shakes? Chiefs are not doing bad. I mean, they are hovering there. They can go to position 2 and qualify to be in the CAF Cup.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Chiefs is not doing bad. We understand that, but the type of football hasn't changed. I think maybe it's this season. I don't believe in luck, but I think it's that thing of maybe luck favors them this season, you know.
Mm,
But the football hasn't changed as a whole, and it's not impressive. Some
mm,
games it's impressive, but it's not impressive. Um, there's certain things that would like to see from the coach, which is different, but we're not seeing that. And there's certain players who would like to see actually the coach introducing, especially the youngsters. You know, that's why we're saying that his system is still the same. He still prefers the old players over the new players. And introducing the youth within the squad, I
mm,
think he's struggling in terms of that because
mm,
he is not using that and the power that these youngsters have. I mean, the
mm,
likes of Nkosi Ngwenya, who also
mm,
what he was doing last season, but for him to be actually among the starting 11 or one of the best players in the squad, we're not seeing that this season. But we see when he comes in, he makes a difference. So this is what I'm actually comparing,
mm,
when it comes to that. But
mm,
if Kaizer Chiefs maybe could get Arthur Zwane, let me just say, we see
mm,
when Arthur takes over the ropes while Chiefs is playing, we see a different squad, and a very
mm,
exciting squad. But when with Baxter being there, it's totally different. We're
mm.
unhappy with the performance. I think what's helping Stuart Baxter is Arthur Zwane and your Dylan Shepherds are there besides him, are right there by his corner.
Mm.
I don't think if he had someone different within that corner, he would be where he is right now, or Chiefs would be where they are right now in terms of the log.
Mm. Yeah, while you're still there, Stuart, sometimes if you listen to him, you get worried. Like you said, Nkosi Ngwenya, when he comes in, he makes a difference. And he's a threatening player. He's a 1-2 player. Put the ball in spaces, but he'll never be played. And when Stuart is being asked, he said, no, I've not yet found the right position for him. A central forward, number 10, a wing. That is a little bit worrying when you see that this player makes an impact. Not only that, at some point I asked him that Njabulo Ngcobo said my best position, sorry, and the preferred position is a central back. And that's the position that he won an award. And then ask him, are you going to put him where you feel comfortable? He said, I'll play him if he's the best available central defender at that time. And now let's look at the central defense. The current central defense that do they have, or the combination that he has. Is it working? I want you to respond to that, Shakes. Is that working? And then you can also come in, Tshepang, on that one. Shakes, because he was an attacking midfielder, he can comment about this one of Nkosi Ngwenya. What is the problem? there's any problem that you see. And like you said, these boys, they respond to others one. They respond well.
Yeah.
They find it difficult to respond to coach. I don't know sometimes what is the approach. Because remember the time of Mushini. Sheikh, did Mushini coach you?
No.
Mushini would throw tantrums. And sometimes these young players, they freak out quickly, you know? And this is the rumor that we hear that at Man United, I didn't want to touch that one because Ronaldo has just lost a kid, and then which is not good. We need to talk about that when we start our second show. That they were feeling that they are out because when they miss, it shows them that they've missed. You rarely hug them to show that affection, a support, that kind of a support, because players want to be loved, and once they be loved, they so that's what Muchini would create problems by throwing tantrums. Remember when he called Caesar a criminal? He's a criminal, and that devastated Caesar, the late Caesar Mutau. So Shakes, come in there. What's your take?
Yeah, with Ungobo Prasov, you know, like we've said before, like Tshepang said before, you know, we saw him. He was an exciting young boy, you know, under Atazwane, and we could see quality football from Kaizer Chiefs. You know, when I talk about Kaizer Chiefs not doing badly, I'm talking about in terms of the league, you know, and but not the style of play. The style of play leaves a lot to be desired, you know, under Stuart Baxter. But under Alta, we saw these boys, they were buzzing. All these young boys from the MDC, we could see what Alta was doing there. And then in comes Baxter, and we don't see the same youngsters performing, you know, and that's a worry for me, because you want to see continuity in the team, you know. And with Arthur, we were seeing that with that young man was doing very well, you know. I think the understanding, which is very important, it was there with Arthur. I think he understood those young boys, you know. He knew how to make them tick, you know. Whereas Baxter believes more in experience and the boys that have done it before. So I think that's where the problem comes in, you know, that once a coach believes in a certain style of play or a certain player, they believe in that player, and it doesn't matter what people think, but yeah, you know, Baxter is not getting the best out of the young boys, and that's a problem.
Tshepang, what's your take? Njabulongo.
Yeah, I mean, he was voted defender of the season last season, you know. But now we're seeing something else, you know. I don't know, maybe it doesn't prefer him. I guess every coach has their own preference in terms of players, you know. But this is what we're seeing, because he's not really a first option at the club, you know. But when he's in, he makes a difference. But now this is a problem with such players, you know. We also put them under pressure, because um, if you throw him in a big game, it's been a while since he has played, but we want to see him play. Let's say, for instance, it's a Soweto derby, you know, and he starts the game. One silly mistake he makes cost the team maybe all the 3 points, and then we'll be on him, to be honest, you know, we'll be on his neck, thinking, why did Stuart Baxter play him after so many games and just throwing him in the deep end, you know? So we also sometimes, as supporters sitting at home, we're not fair. But it comes back to this thing of game time. We've got an asset on our team. We've got a very reliable center back, a good player that's sitting on the bench. But when does the coach want to use him? When will the coach ever use him? You know? So I think it's a matter of timing when it comes to that. But also now it's preference. I clearly we can see that Stuart Baxter does not prefer Njabulo Ngobo.
What about
In
the
terms of
central
the
defense that he's using? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm saying. Their time, I feel like their time has expired, because It's not gelling well because week in, week out, sometimes he changes that defense a lot of time, but he doesn't prefer Njabule Ngobo in that position. So Njabule Ngobo is more of like a third option when it comes to that position. So maybe for him also it's not working out, Stuart Baxter, but maybe it's a matter of in denial. He trusts Mato and maybe can Cardoso more over Njabule Ngobo.
But he once took Njabulo to the central midfield. Sometimes coaches do that. I saw Jomo Sono moving Lucky Mulefe. I don't know whether he's still alive. Lucky Mulefe, who was a midfielder, an attacking midfielder at Amazulu. When he came to Cosmos, he made him a defender. He became one of the solid and dependable defender. I don't know, Shakes, have you seen Lucky Mulefe? He once played Sundowns.
Yeah, yes, Prasovs.
Yeah.
I think it works sometimes, you know, when you've been playing an attacking position and you fit in better going defensively, because I think it's easier in terms of controlling the game when you've played in the midfield place where you can scan everything. It's not that easy. But coming to defensively, it becomes easier because you can see everybody, you can see what's in front of you, and if your timing and is right, it becomes easier for you. So it's easy to gel when you're coming from an offensive position to a defensive position.
There are many. There was Webster Chava. He was an attacking midfielder. He played at the back. He became one of the solid. Pardon?
Gary McNabb for Swallows.
Yeah, Gary McNabb, yes. Mark Fish, remember Mark Fish? Machen's Mtale was playing attacking midfield. He went to the back. Those examples have been there. Now, while we are still there, the coach has a role to play. You know, I saw Barcelona last night. I don't know, maybe we need to talk about this at some point. This thing of coaches, when they come, they start making noise. This one must go. What? You know, it becomes a problem. I saw Xavi. Xavi was struggling yesterday. Remember, Xavi said he wants to work with the youngsters, the generation that he played with. I think that creates problems for you as a coach. Start uttering those words. Why can't you do it being quiet? And unlike you vocal it, and you know that those players are there. I remember Xavi, one of the rumors was saying why he was delaying to come into Barcelona was, how is he going to instruct Messi? Did you understand? And now, look what happened yesterday. He let Daniel Vez sit on the bench, and you needed Daniel Vez in that game. Maybe because they were peers, and you know Daniel Vez is vocal, and I think that troubles. I saw that the fans, they are already now calling for the head of Laporta. They say prioritize money ahead of. I will see soon, watch the space. People there are going to call for Messi to come back. And it might work very simple because it's not welcome at PSG. It's not welcome at PSG. The playing staff, I don't think they're supporting him. That's one thing I wanted to touch on. I've seen it. I hope you saw it. So sometimes I was a little bit puzzled when Stuart Baxter said, it is not a coach who has the impact. There is no best coach in the world. There is a best coach in terms of how do you select. And we saw what happened with Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola for the cup on Sunday. So you can't say the coach does not have an impact. The coach has an impact. His decision has an impact. Now, let's come here. What are you saying about those people who are calling for Benny McCarthy to go to Kaizer Chiefs while we still have Arthur there? What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, That's why I said, Mr. Shabala, last week, I was like, when you've got a big coach that's still available out there, that people can see that he's available and he doesn't have a club, as a big coach like him, people would actually want his services. People would want the club to listen, and show the club that here is another option that can work for us. So we tend to be blindsided and forget about what we have within the club. Maybe, a good player that we have in the club. I mean, good coach that we might have in the club, but we want to look outside, you know, because there's a bigger coach that's out there that's available. So I think it's that case, you know. But yeah, for me personally, I don't think Benny for now, Coach Benny would be the right fit for Kaizer Chiefs. You know, I think they should start looking internally first before they go outside, if they want to replace Coach Stuart Baxter.
Shakes, what's your take?
Yeah, I think I share the same sentiment, Brasobs. Chiefs should look internally. We've already seen what Arthur can do with Kaizer Chiefs, with those youngsters. He's used to them. He's coached them at the MDC, and you need continuity. Obviously, it's not working. The old way of Baxter with the with the likes of Matoho is not working, and we need something fresh. And Arthur was providing something fresh, and we'd love to see all our coaches, our good coaches, local coaches working within the PSL teams, So yes, I'd love to see Benny coaching a big team like Pirates, or even being in the national team setup, because he knows he's been there, he's done that, so we don't want to see Benny without a job, but at the same time, at Kaizer Chiefs, I think they need the continuity of Arthur.
While you're still there, any situation, whether it's becoming volatile or what, it wants calmness. So once you are calm, you respond properly. But once you are somehow a hype, the responses may not be correct. All right. I've seen this while I was still at school. When you're going to write exams, people who studied, but they would panic, and forget even a little thing that they still remember. I don't know, I was very young, but I developed this strategy of always being calm. I would study wherever I study. Sometimes, in most cases, you don't finish the entire syllabus. You cover the key important things. And when I would go to the exam room, I would be calm and look at things positively in a calm way, and I'll do well. And that has been a very good strategy for me, and it has worked. So even in football, I'm saying this because if you look at Arthur, he's very calm, So probably that's why these young stars are responding to him. And then I'm not saying Benny's not calm. This is not in reference to Benny. I like Benny. Benny's doing well. Had him be given more chance at Amakhosi, you'd see great things. And be supported. That's another thing. All right, because Benny said, look, I want the players, the players that I want, and Sithebe issue was the issue that caused the rift between him and the boss. And Sithebe is one of the brilliant midfielder, solid midfielder in the mold of people like Eric Tinkler. And then, so Benny was trying to say, you know what, that's what is important. You need people like that. But now, unfortunately, the boss see the other way around, all right? So, yeah, that calmness, Shakes, I want you to comment about calmness. I know at some point, I don't know whether you're coached by Brasten. No, Brasten will never be calm. at some point he fainted, you know. So if you compare the two styles that I'm talking about.
Yeah, Prasad. It also depends on the player, the type of players you have, you know. But you know, with local players throughout the years, I remember there was a coach by the name of Philip Trozier, and the players were not responding to him, you know, because he used to shout at the players, he used to push the players around, but it didn't work for him, you know. But also you had a Mushin Atrugal who who reciprocated to the youngster. He used to call them the chickens at Ajax, you know, and they were buzzing, but you know how strict he was with them. But it worked for him. So I think it's just different strokes for different folks, you know. Me, I always preferred a coach who was calm, who gave me the instructions and I knew what to do, you know, unlike a coach who will shout at me all the time. But like I say, it's different strokes for different folks.
Shakes, Tshepang, thank you very much. It was nice. We thought it would be short, but there were so many things that we wanted to look at. Whatever unfolded Kaizer Chiefs, I'm sure Mr. Mtaung has been in football for many years. Remember now, it's 7 years that Chief hasn't won any title. So I don't understand when Stuart says maybe we need to check that he's the only coach who has brought glory in the past 20 years. I don't know whether he was referring to the league or what, but according to my records, or if my memory is not failing me, it's 7 years that they haven't won anything, unless he talks to the league. Guys, thank you very much. So as people out there, tell us what's your take. Is this the time that Moshini should give away? Will that work? All right, we've seen it Barcelona. They change coaches from this coach to that coach. Then what happened? The team, you know, and as much as I'm complaining about Xavi, who's also coaching with his brother, as I was talking about the relationship. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. Shakes, you want to say something there?
Sorry, Professor, I didn't get that.
All right. No, I was saying, you know, we just hope that things will come right at Kaizer Chiefs, and then we wish them good luck because Chiefs is known to be winning trophies. So that is why they're the best team in the country. Yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns has risen, and Mamelodi Sundowns has lifted the flag. I saw there's one former player who said the difference between Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns is looking beyond internally. They are looking to conquer the continent. The two are largely focused on the local front. So that is why they struggle. So I don't know about that one. Guys, thank you very much. And Shakes, thank you. And then we are happy for you. And then let's get this knowledge from you all the time when we're here. And then just bid the viewers farewell.
Thanks, Prasad, for having me on the show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having our viewers again on the next show. Thank you.
Thank you. Tshepang, the last words.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Shabalala, and to you also, Mr. Shakes. Yeah, looking forward to seeing the viewers on our next show, and yeah, would like to hear what they have to say.
Tshepang, before I leave, how's your gym doing at Besh?
Yeah, our gym is doing well. It's
That's a
actually
logo of
growing.
your gym. Just show us.
Yes. It's Specially Fitness Center. Our gym is actually growing. Week in, week out to always have new members, coming in. It's actually growing a lot faster, and I'm proud to say that we have over 30 clients, within our organization. So yeah, we are growing, and the dream is to actually build my own studio one day within the community, you know. But I know we'll get there, and we are close.
I
Yeah.
must also come and kill the fat at some point. That is sitting on the belly. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. And let's hear what the viewers are saying. Much appreciated and good luck going forward. Hi, everybody. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from the Big R or TBR Solution. One of the companies owned by TBR Solution is the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. I'm sure you have noticed that the past few months or so, we've seen a lot of deaths, and those deaths are attributed to mental illness. Mental illness can be caused by anything, can be caused by stress, depression, and stress and depression can be caused by a number of things: lack of finances, or financial problem, or social problem, or marital problem. So they cause all those problems. We in the financial sector, we see it almost now and again because we work with various organizations like GPF, Independent Fund Organization. But while I'm still there, let me stress, we don't have a formal relationship with GPF, but we work with them because most of our people are from there. Now, working with those people, you know very well that people who are working for the government, they're expected to retire at the age of 60 and above, right? If you retire earlier than that, then you are being penalized by GPF. And sometimes people say, no, I need money. So what do? They resign. They say, no, let the money go to my bank account. Once you do that, you are tax heavy. So you need to bear that in mind, okay? But now, let's say for argument's sake, you are 55 as we speak and above, and you are contemplating of either resigning or going on pension in the next 3 months or so, just drop us a WhatsApp so that we help you to expedite for your payment. Because according to the GPF rules and pension fund law, once a client or a member receive an SMS that they've received your forms, that means they have 60 days to complete the process. And mind you, the 60 days is a maximum. It doesn't mean it has to take 60 days. It's a maximum. Now, sometimes we see people, they don't get their money for 2 to 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, even more, or a year or so. And then there, the problem could emanate either from the GPF side, employer side, a member himself. So what do? We try to expedite that process by making sure that we understand the workings of GPF. If it's a member, we help him to do the right thing. The same with GPF, the same with employer organization. Now, remember, as I have already said, that with GPF, it's 60 and above. Now, and then we say if you're 55 or more, you can contact us. And another good element is this, with the fund that we are working with. There is a whole lot of flexibility. You can decide how much you earn. That's how flexible it is. And if, let's say, you pass on, you and your spouse, you can nominate anyone. You are not limited to your immediate family, like your biological children or an officially adopted children. Remember, even your children, they can benefit as long as they're 22 and below. But with us, it doesn't matter. They can be above 22, they can be your elders, or they will still benefit because you nominated them. And then we try by all means that when we take the money from GPF and invest with credible fund organization, we try by all means that you are least taxed, all right? And then, and even you are not punished because you are not taking the money, because you are taking to another fund. So which means an independent and credible fund. So it means that there's no need to tax you more. So those are some of the advantages that are there. So you need to bear that in mind. And then if you want to know more, just drop us a WhatsApp on our WhatsApp number. Then we'll call you back. You don't have to call us. We'll call you back and see how can we expedite it. I thank you.